plays the ball to Casey, which I don't think he wanted. And that's a good ball for Chris Cook. Cook going in on the keeper. Magnificent goal by Chris Cook. Oh, tremendous.
Step to Mark Angel. Good delivery as well. Free header and a goal. Oh, what an introduction. Ray Warburton with a header. And surely now, Boston United are on the way to the Football League for the first time in their history.
Here is Whittle. Knowles. Foulis. And Boston do have their equaliser.
Brackley back in possession. And there it is, the final whistle. Boston United are promoted back to the National League.
Greatest of escapes from Boston United. They looked dead and buried at one point, 12 points away from being a National League side once again, but they've done it. Graham Coughlin has worked absolute miracles here at the Jatemans Community Stadium.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Up the Pilgrims. I'm Damien and I'm joined as ever by David and by Stedders. Hello guys, how are you both doing?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks, Damien. I just got back from my travels in Europe, but no, I'm back on home turf. Looking forward to watching Boston and the starts of the new season again.
I believe you went to some new grounds as well, didn't you, when you were travelling across Europe?
Yeah, I had a look around. Unfortunately, I looked at all the places where I've gone or trying to go on holiday this year, and absolutely none of them play any games. But I'm trying to get around as many of the grounds as I can. So I had a look around some step 4 running track in like Berlin. I watched some Sunday League there, and then I moved on to Prague, and then I went around Sparta Prague Stadium, who were competing. I believe it was this week in the Europa League qualifier game. So yeah, they were building up to that and the start of their league season. So yeah, I had a nice look around, had a lovely chat with the bloke there, and he said he'd seen a few Boston fans over the years, so that was quite surprising. Oh. So if you were out in Prague and did the same tour, fair play. Let me know.
Of course, and I mean it's nothing compared to the Jatemans, is it? Any
no,
other stadiums
nothing.
That
well, they do. They do only have one stand there because it's all around. So we've got more stands than them. So that's something to not complain about.
There you go. And Stedders, how's your summer been?
Well, thank you. Bad. Managed to catch one of these pre-season games so far. We'll talk about in a moment. But yeah, as always, it's a bit of a exciting time for the season, and just seeing how these new players bed in.
Exactly, of course. And we're just going to have a bit of a chat on this edition of Up the Pilgrims, aren't we? Just talk about, the players that have come in, the friendlies, and just sort of how things are going really at the club. I mean, we started the pre-season friendlies at Lincoln United a few weeks back, and I believe you were there, David. And obviously, first game. I mean, these friendlies, you can't look into the results, can you? They're just all about just all about getting fit, really, aren't they? And the new players sort of bedding in and the team sort of gelling together, aren't they?
Yeah, and that was certainly all it was. It's nice to be back at some football and see some familiar faces and have a chat with a few people, but you couldn't take away much on this performance. It was a very scrappy game, very, very up in the air, lots of late challenges. Everybody's just trying to regain their fitness at this point in the season, and you could see that. Few passes weren't coming off. There were the goalkeeper's kicking, Lovett's kicking, and Bob Jones's kicking wasn't well, but neither was Lincoln United's. So it was the first game for Boston, the second game, I believe, for Lincoln, as they played Lincoln reserves the weekend before. But no, there was not much to take out the game, really. You could see a few bright sparks inside. I think this Reiki in the middle of the midfield, he was a good player that game. I think he's been putting in solid performances all pre-season. So maybe we've got a gem on our hands there, but it's too early to say before we actually see him compete in the National League. Apart from that, 2-0 win, move on to the next one. Good goals scored, really. Ollie Green, good to see get his first goal in a Boston shirt. It's really the first time we've actually seen him play a solid amount of minutes as well. So it's just about getting all these players involved in the team and up into fitness and trying to progress and trying to just get better every day. And the more games that we get better and we bring positives from, the better side will be by the time we start the actual season.
Yeah, of course. And I went to the Boston Town game and down at Tattershall Road, and 2-2 it ended. And yeah, again, it was a bit of a scrappy game, really. Two teams really playing each half. And, Boston took the lead and looked pretty comfortable, to be fair. And then just sort of the last 10 minutes of the first half, they seemed to falter a little bit and obviously conceded the 2 goals going in at the break, 2-1 down. And second half, it was sort of all Boston United mainly. Just hoping that we were going to get something out of the game. And thankfully, trialist B scored right in injury time. No idea who trialist B is, but he looked okay. He looked half decent. There was an injury as well to the keeper as well. So that was a bit of a downer, but everything's okay. He's back training again now, so that's all good. And then obviously it was on to Saturday, and I believe we all went to the game, did we, on Saturday? A very wet and soggy Jakeman's Community Stadium. And Steaders, what did you make of it?
Yeah, like you say, very wet, weren't it? Conditions didn't suit either side because both sides want to try and play football, and they were trying to play football. I thought it was a decent game, actually, for a pre-season friendly. Like I said on a few of my social media posts, somebody can be a bit of a snooze fest, but I actually thought it was actually a decent watch. And Boston tried their hardest to put things together and play the way they can. And obviously, I say a lot of changes came on about 60 minutes, I think, weren't it?
9 changes.
Wingers causes for one, and the other one just causes loads of issues down that side and kept beating his player. So, but yeah, no, I think it's a 1-0 defeat in the end, wasn't it? And it was a small error from Connor Teal down his own byline there. Should have shepherded the ball out, or actually should have kicked it in the stand towards us, and then it would have been cleared. But yeah, little mistake there, and a pass across goal for a 2-yard tap-in. Not loads between the two sides, I didn't think, to be honest with you, in terms of quality. I thought Boston, like I say, held their own quite well, and I think Peterborough fans, a few that I spoke to that I know of, said exactly the same thing. So a great turnout as well, crowd-wise, considering the weather. And obviously, as we're recording this, we've got Grimsby tonight, so another test coming up for the boys as well. But no, I thought there were some bright sparks, like David said, some things to definitely work on, but obviously some things to work with as well. So no, all good from the Boston point of view. Like I say, it's a 1-0 defeat. You can't take much away from that, can you? In terms of result, it's pre-season, but I think we answered the questions that we need to, because we'll probably come on to it, but I think the strikers is what we need, and I still think that we're missing that cutting-edge goal scorer. And Graham's alluded to it himself, but we will chat about that, I'm sure, in a few minutes to come.
Yeah, of course, and I mean, like you were saying, it's this the time of the season that you obviously look to iron out them mistakes. You look to sort of see where the problems are in the team, don't you? And yeah, like we're saying, David, it's a chance, obviously, to find where we need new players, and the strikers seem to be where it is, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, going back to that Teal mistake, it's obviously better to get it out of the way now than it is to get it out of the way in the season. So if we can find out where our creases are and try and iron them out, Graham's alluded to that in his interviews the other day on BBC Radio Lincolnshire, that we've been quite ambitious, or tried to be quite ambitious with our recruitment this year. Now's the time where these EFL or players who think they're EFL quality will start looking lower because they're not going to have a club in time for the new season. I mean, EFL starts in a week and a bit now. It's not too long to go. We start in 3. So these players that are still without a club are going to be looking for a team to play for. And, hopefully there's someone out there that can come and fill this spot. You look at the strikers that we've got at the moment. We knew Hazel was going to be long-term injured.
Yeah.
By the amount that John Lewis played last year. He did play quite a few minutes, but most of the time it was off the bench, never a full 90. So that was a bit of a concern. Donnelly's never played at the level before, I don't believe, and neither has Norkett. But they've both come off good seasons. It's sort of a gamble. The thing is, I was talking to Tom about this the other night, actually, at the Peterborough game. We never go for big name goal scorers here at Boston United, whether that's the finances that doesn't allow us to do that, or we can't attract the best players. But we're always going for underlying talent and trying to bring them through. I think that's the way probably football should be played at the level, because you need to keep sustainable. It's good to see a few years ago we had Kelsey Mooney and Jimmy Knowles coming out of teams that they struggled in. Kelsey Mooney struggled after a ligament injury or something at Leamington. He came back into the side, scored 40 goals and got a move to the Football League. It's good to see that there's a path of progression that players can want to follow. And I think with the young recruitment that we've gone for this year, with a few experienced heads here and there, I think that's what we're trying to replicate and try and show players that there is a path back onto the Football League. But there is a path here at Boston United where we can help you, and we can help you get back on the right track towards professional football and full-time professional football in the Football League. So yeah, it's good to see that there's players wanting to come and play for us, but it's a lot of young lads at the moment. I think we still need an experienced head. Whether the budget goes and stretches for that, we don't know. Lionel John Lewis is proven goal scorer at levels. Jacob Hazels had scored a few last year, had a good year last year. So yeah, will we just bring somebody in to fill the gap? We don't know. Nobody knows at this point.
Of course, and I mean, Stedders, what did you think about the interview on Saturday after the game with Graham Coughlin, when he was talking about Lionel John Lewis, and he was saying it was a bit of a concern at the moment because he's obviously behind some of the other lads in the team, and that's why he didn't play on Saturday. But obviously he's 36 as well. He has been in the game a long time. Do you think it's a big concern? And I mean, obviously, do you think we could bring in some more experienced players to try and help with the first team, like David's saying?
Well, it's enough of a concern for Graham to mention it in a radio interview, isn't it? So, that tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it? It does seem worrying, doesn't it, really? But it is only pre-season. I'll be more worried if it's come the first game of the season he's not fit, to be honest with you. He's still got time on his hands a little bit now, hasn't he, to work on it. And now we've still got quite a few pre-season games to play as well. So there's a few games there where they can come back up, but he needs to get up to them levels, doesn't he, for where we need him to be. But like I say, it's enough of a concern for Graham to mention it on a radio interview and to mention that he's actively looking for another one as well. So, it is what it is. Would we like experience? Of course we would, but can we afford experience, as David just alluded to? Probably not. So it might be, again, an upper. They've just got to take it as it comes, really, haven't we? We found this with Boston at the minute. It is what it is, but if we get somebody in who comes and scores them goals like Kelsey or Jimmy, as David just mentioned, would we care? Not really. As long as we find somebody who can do the job for us, like you say, it is the issue, isn't it? I think if Jacob Hazel is fit now, we wouldn't be looking for anybody, to be honest with you. I think we'll be full quota. So, case of Hazel's injuries probably come to bite us on the backside a little bit here. We've had to go out shopping again for another one, haven't we? And try and find another one to complement that front line. But up and coming's fine, isn't it? It's not a problem, but we need to get these guys scoring goals because it's a confidence position. If you don't hit the ground running and don't score goals, it can soon head south very quickly, can't it? And that's my probably biggest worry for it, is that these lads don't find the back of the net early doors in the league season. I mean, let's take Tony Weston, for instance, for last season. He struggled, didn't he? Struggled massively on the score sheet and looked like scoring consistent goals for us. I would hate to think that one of these lads would end up like that and we end up turning them out on loan early on in the season. I hope that we can just get a goal or two just to satisfy them, to get them going. Because it's all about getting a start. If they can get a start, you never know where it might go. So, yeah, experience, yes, probably. But like I say, can we afford it? Probably not. So we're probably shopping for a similar one that we've already got already.
Yeah, and just going down the other end of the field, do you think Graham's made his mind up now about who's going to be the new number one? David, I mean, do you think obviously Reece Wilmot, he played in the Boston Town game, second half, he did okay, obviously didn't concede, whereas, in the first half we conceded two, but obviously he got that injury as well. But, Saturday, the other keeper played the full game. Do you think he's made his mind up?
I honestly couldn't tell you, to be honest. I think I touched on this before when we made the signings. I think they're two quite different style of goalkeepers. Reece is a lot more eccentric than Jones. Jones does the basics well. His kicking's okay. His shot stopping's okay. I think Reece is probably better at shot stopping than Jones of what I've seen of him. But I don't think he'll know till the day that we start the season, to be perfectly honest, because there's two strong goalkeepers here. We've never really had that for a long, long time. We've never really had two goalkeepers pushing each other in the right direction. So I think it'll just be whoever's done best up to that point, and we can't make a judgment on that yet. But no, it's a unique position to be in for us. But we'll just have to see what the goalkeeper coach and Graham make the decision by, and who starts that first game against Morham, if we play the first game against Morham.
Yeah, of course, and we will obviously go on to that one in a little while. But I mean, okay, so we've all seen some pre-season games so far. Going to start with you, Stedders, first. Is there a player that maybe did stand out for you that's looking promising so far in the pre-season? I know it's just the one game you saw, but is there a player in that game that you sort of was quite impressed with?
There's a few, actually, to be honest with you. I mean, there's one that actually we saw a little bit about last season as well. Greg Sloggett's come back in, hasn't he? He looked great on Saturday as well. He looks like he's getting right into it again, isn't he? And flying in with the tackles, breaking up the play, doing best. There's a one or two, like you say, of the new ones. I like right. Is it Reiki? They pronounce it. I'm going to have to get that right by the end.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
But anyway, he's come from Grimsby, hasn't he? He looks like class, doesn't he? He does look like he loves a midfield battle as well. But he looks like he can do both of them jobs well, doesn't he? He can break up the play, but he also looks like he can pass the ball as well, very well, and attack as well from that midfield position. So I'm actually really impressed with that. How the midfield and defensive line look. I don't think we look defensively as fragile this season for sure. That's what I think personally. It looks a lot more solid in there for my liking. I'm interested to see more of Cropper. I've not seen much of him in the pre-season, to be honest with you. So I need to see a little bit more of him to cast judgment. But it's hard to take judgment on 3 games, isn't it? Especially when none of them have been that competitive. Let's be honest. We've got more games to come, and as these friendlies go on, you'll find that the intensity and the capability of these players will come out more, and hopefully we'll find some of them shining stars. I mean, Donnelly only played on Saturday, but I quite like what I saw from him as well. Quite tenacious in the fact of his press. We commented as well. I think me and Oliver, actually, my boy, commented how high they were pressing and how quickly they were getting onto Peterborough to try and break up the play, pressing from that front line. So. Yeah, he could be an exciting player. I'm interested to see how he gets on after a run of consistent games. But yeah, like I said, hard to cast judgment so early in the season. But there's telltale signs are there. Graham just wants hard workers and people that are committed to wear the shirt. And if we get that out of everybody, we're only going to get the best out of them, aren't we? So yeah, it's looking good. But like I say, never too high, never too low. I'll take that from the old management, shall I? So yeah. We'll use that for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite impressed Saturday with a few little touches that Norkit made when he came on. I thought he did okay. And once he gets going, I think he could be promising. But David, is there anyone for you that you've seen that's impressed you so far?
Yeah, I touched on Reiki earlier. Maguire's back to it. Looks like he's back to his old self, to be honest. So he's trying to make some space, and he got past a few players, some definitely boosts his ego, dribbling past some League One defenders. Creating the chances, putting the balls in. Nobody on the end of him on Saturday. He looks good. I think one comment I'll make on the team and the squad as a whole, that this is probably the fittest I've ever seen a team play for Boston. The amount of willing runners that we've got in here. It's a bit like we were saying last season. They're trying hard. They're doing okay. Let's just hope we get the points on the board this time. But no, I'm quietly confident coming into this season that we hopefully won't be in the same position as we were 10 or 15 games in last year. You know, there seems to be some quality in this side, and the running seems to be not just willy-nilly running, it seems to be organised, regimented. And when the players make the realisation that we're not going to fall back, that it's like that, and they're already back into shape, ready to defend the ball. Some of the wingers on Saturday against Peterborough running down a wing, down the line on breakaways. I think it was a corner that we gave the ball away from, and they were zipping down the wing. And by the time that they got to the byline, about where the edge of the 16-yard box is, we were already set in position. So, you know, it's promising. It is really promising going into it. But, you know, we just need to start scoring goals, creating chances. But the thing is, the goals don't have to come from the strikers. They don't have to come from John Lewis. They don't have to come from Norkett. They can come from anywhere. And I'd imagine these fullbacks this year will probably get on the score sheet quite a bit. Kelly and Cropper, if they play. You've also got Lancashire, I believe, you can play on the left as well, running up and down. So I'd imagine they'd come into the fold with scoring goals. But we just got to open the bank a little bit, and hopefully you can get a few more goals going in, and that'd be nice. And then hopefully, you know, maybe another striker or two. Who knows? But maybe they might be on loan. I was looking the other day. There's quite a few under-18s, under-21s from Sheffield United that I could see us going for. Same with Grimsby. I've had a little look, so I wouldn't be surprised if we just start trying to sign one of them.
We might even start seeing some tonight.
Maybe.
You never know for Grimsby. But I mean, do you think? Obviously, I mean, you're saying they're looking fitter. So, Dave, do you agree that obviously going full time is working so far? It's looking good. You know, you're saying it's one of the fittest. So, yeah, you think it is. Steaders, do you agree that obviously going full time probably has been the right move, and the team is looking a lot stronger than it has done in previous seasons at this point?
Yeah, we've got competition in places that we don't usually have, like the goalkeeping position. So it's only made us stronger as a squad, hasn't it? Whether it's made us fitter and the fitness and we don't really know, because obviously they've only played full-time training for about a week or two. So again, still early doors to say, isn't it? But we'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm really, but I think a key point of this season is the home form. We cannot go all them games and not winning at home like last season when it was Braintree. You know, we went far too many games without picking up points or wins at home. That can't happen this season, because we saw how important the home form is at the back end of last season as well. So, you know, we need to start getting home wins, because not only does it do anything else, but it boosts crowds, it boosts people, it boosts confidence as well within the town, doesn't it? So you'll find that if we get on a bit of a run, you will find that average gate go up. More people coming out to watch as well. But I think the season tickets have sold really well as well this season, haven't they? I think they've done a pretty good job over them. Pretty good numbers of them have come through the doors already. So, but it's all football's a confidence game, isn't it? If you get on confidence in a run, then people want to come and watch you. It's like anything, isn't it? So let's hope we can, like I say, we can start the JCS against Morham, fingers crossed, that goes ahead on that day and start with a winning 3 points there.
Just changing the subject, you're talking about season tickets and whatnot. I just want to go on to I don't know if you did see it last night, what I sent you, Forest Green. I think it's Forest Green Rovers. They've started doing people that are suffering, you know, sort of depression and mental health and whatnot. They're sort of giving people tickets to football matches to try and relieve that. I mean, David, do you think it's something that could work at Boston? I'm not too sure myself, personally.
If you were watching us every week, it'd probably make you worse, especially if it was last year. No, I think it's a good idea, honestly. Football's a bug. We've all caught it. Everybody else has caught it. Once you go once, you can never stop. And it's a really good hobby. You get to meet lots of people. You get to go places that I didn't know what a Fylde was. I didn't know what a Kirkham and Wesham was till I went up there in the playoffs. You get to go places and you get to go all around the country to places you would have never imagined going and meeting people that you would never imagine meeting. So personally, I think it's a good idea. Whether they keep doing it, and they'll have to probably do a study on it to make sure that it actually makes people better and people just aren't, abusing it for the benefit of of themselves. But if it can make a difference, yeah, more people through the door at Boston United, I won't complain.
Yeah. And Steaders, what do you think of it?
I tell you what, I tip my hat to Forest Green Rovers because they are literally innovative. Is the word. They think out the box with everything. I think the mental health thing's a great idea. Obviously, it's come to the forefront a lot more recent years, hasn't it? With COVID, everything else that came to the forefront as well. Then you've got to think of all them times that we all got through. And like I say, it came to the forefront there. The kid choice is a different matter, though. Like, talking about football, I have to talk about them 2 strips they released yesterday. So, would I go watch Forest Green Rovers if I had mental health problems and they give me a ticket? Yes. Would I ever buy a shirt? Definitely not. Pretty awful. If you haven't seen it, folks, take a look. No, like I say, I think they're innovative. I like what they do because they are different, aren't they? There's nothing wrong with being different at all, is there? But they are I know it's sometimes to the extreme, but they are different. And like you say, it'd be boring if it was all the same. So, I can imagine supporting them's great because you go to the home games and something must be different every time you go. It must be like, all of a sudden they've got stands built wood. It's crazy. I think the next stadium's going to be completely that way as well. Is that right?
Yeah, I've heard that.
The whole lot is going to be, like I say, hats off for their innovative thinking. Does it always come off? Probably not. And I'm afraid the kits definitely didn't.
I never think I've seen a kit, summarise a manager so much. They link so well together. The cheetah, leopard print, and Robbie Savage. Oh my God. No, but it's a good marketing strategy, isn't it? It's a really good marketing. They're definitely getting people talking about them, 100%.
And I mean, there are some crazy kits as well. Going on to the kits. There's some. We've sort of on our little page. We've shown some Scunthorpe United. They've got a new kit out, which Steaders we can say is. I think you brought it to our attention. It's not the best, is it?
I mean, I can see why some people quite like it. I think from far away you can't really see it, but if anyone hasn't seen it, it's got like a chain design going down the front of it instead of like stripes, which I found the logo's not right in the centre. I think they put some pictures up. They played at Skeg Town last night, didn't they? They put some photos of goal scorers last night. It didn't look that bad on them, to be honest with you. Change was a very strange decision because it can mean a lot of things, can't it? But yeah, your own, isn't it? I mean, let's talk about the Boston kit. We're going to get onto it probably at some point anyway. But ours is looking a bit bland, the home kit this season. I think that's the word for it. There's not a lot to it, is there at all? It's just plain amber. I mean, some people love that kind of thing, but it's not for everybody, is it? I just wish they'd have put some like little pinstripes on it or something like that, just to finish it off, to make it look a bit nicer. Personally, just look very plain. The third kit that came out, the black and pink one's pretty decent, but it's really interesting to see how that away one comes out now as well. And I do something with that now. But yeah, the chains, if they'd put chains on a Boston shirt or what we're going to have on there, I don't know. Have like a big picture of the logo, could be like a boat or something, couldn't we? We could have like that. So yeah, we could have something like that. But no, I don't know. It's each to your own. If it sells kits, does it matter?
Exactly. I mean, I think for me, the black one at the moment, with a bit of pink on it, I think that one's the favourite, and I think it's going to sell really, really well. Home one, I think watching them on Saturday in it, I think I'd be happy if I ended up with that one in the end. But we'll have to see what the second away or the proper away strip is going to be like. David, what's your thoughts on the home shirt and away?
The home shirt is very similar to the promotion season in the Vanawa North. I think they've run out of ideas. Some rumours or some idea that they've probably spent too much time faffing about trying to make a good design, and they've run out of time, and they've just had to give us a plain old striped kit. It's simple, it's effective, it's a Boston shirt, it's amber and black, it does the job really, and it's okay. Will I be purchasing it? Probably not. Moving on to the third strip, I'm not a big fan. I don't like the black
Huh?
and I don't like the pink on the sleeves. If the pink then proceeded onto the chest and further down, the shirt, I may like it. But the fact that it just stops there, and the pink shorts, bloody hell! I mean, they're a bit bright, aren't they? A bit luminous. You look like highlighters. No, the pink shorts and the sleeves here, but I don't like the cut off. I think it just looks a bit cheap. To be honest with you, and I'd rather if there was a design on the shirt where sort of morphed in. I believe on the yellow one there's little dots. If you look really, really closely, it's little circles, little polka dots. So maybe there is a design to it, but we just can't see it, or it's that boring that we don't really care about it. Probably the latter. But no, I've not been very impressed by either of the kits so far. So this away one better be good, because or else we're going to have some bang average kits, in my opinion.
Yeah, the problem is as well, guys, is the one on Saturday got absolutely drenched after 30 seconds, so we couldn't really have a chance to see it, could we? It was that bad. It was a minute in, it got completely soaked, so you couldn't see the shirt, to be honest with you. So I'm interested to see it in the flesh. Would I buy? It's a Boston home shirt. I'm going to buy it. Of course I am. It's my home club. I'm going to wear it around town like everyone do, because it is our home club. It's our shirt, isn't it? And it's another one in the National League, so it'll go in the collection with the others. But yeah, is it the ideal design for everybody? Never is it? We're always going to complete, right? I can remember that time when that one came out, what David's wearing at the minute, not Holmes one. Some loved it, some absolutely hated it. To be honest with you, some didn't get it. But when Paul Gascoigne showed up in it, yeah. We'll have to wait and see what to do with this away one. So, like you say, I will come on to it as well. It's a shame, but if they haven't yet, we'll go with that they haven't commended the 40th anniversary of the Wembley trip, because that was 40 years this year. So 1985 was the year we went to play Wilston in the trophy final. Will they do something with the away kit for that? We'll wait and see. But I'd have liked to have seen something done with the home kit for that personally. That would have been great. A little bit more of an to it, like I say, with the stripes. The little pinstripes, and that would have a commemorative one like that would have been great for the home shirt. But have they got anything for the away one? We don't know. We don't know what they've got planned, but they need to get on with it though, don't they?
Yeah,
they do. What colour did they wear at Wembley?
I think it was the yellow strip. I think it was the yellow. Yeah.
It was the yellow. Yeah. So maybe they should have done something with the yellow strip, like you say, to commemorate it. That would have been quite good. But hopefully they will do something. I think they need to, really, for sure. But just moving on to obviously we got some more friendlies coming up. Starting with Grimsby Town tonight. And then it's on to Peterborough Sports Saturday, and then Cleethorpes Town next Tuesday away, and then Sheffield United under 21s at home a week Saturday. So before the season is due to start on August the 9th, but there is a big question mark over the Boston United fixture at home to Morham, because Morham at the moment are in dire straits, if we're being honest. They were supposed to be taken over by the Punjab Warriors. That seems to have fallen through. The current chairman or owners don't want to sell it. And they keep bringing saying there's new owners. There isn't. They were due to have one pre-season, which I believe was last night. At home to Barrow behind closed doors. That was postponed because now the players are refusing to play until they get paid or the new owners are sorted out. They're due to play Fylde Saturday. We don't know if that's going ahead, and they've only got 10 senior players. Steaders, what do you make of it all at the moment? It's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
Just again, you just baffling, isn't it? Football ownership is baffling. When are we going to get some kind of thing, some criteria in for these guys who take over some of these clubs? It's just bonkers, isn't it? Could you imagine? Again, we say it as well, don't we? Just how lucky we are to not find ourselves in such a situation like this, because it's the fans that are ultimately the ones that have to pay the sacrifice. They want to come to Boston JCS first day of the season, don't they? They want to come and see their team playing. The fact they can't even put out even an 11 at the minute is strikingly bad. What I have heard though is, I don't know if I've read it somewhere, but again, it's all rumours because we never really find out the whole truth. Is that it's all about the away games at the moment. The reason why they don't want to play at home is because of the wages are not paid not only to the playing staff but to the staff that work there. So it might be a case that the away game goes. We will wait and see. But yeah, it's an awful situation to find yourselves in. They're basically holding the club to ransom, aren't they? That is exactly what they're doing. These old owners, aren't they? And I saw it was on Sky Sports News last week. I think the Derby was there, and he said put 1.7 million in to keep them afloat, and they were given that. I think it was last year or at some point. And he says he's not asked for a penny of that back either from the owners currently. And there was hoping that the owners were going to come down there that day and complete that takeover that day. I think that hence the reason for the cameras being there, but it never came through. But you've just got a feel for them, haven't you? Especially the fans, like you say, it's the fans that we found ourselves in a similar situation where we got double demoted, didn't we, that season as well for financial irregularities. So it looks like that, if they can't fulfill these fixtures, that people saying reschedule, things like that, they've got to be punished, unfortunately, as well. And how that comes in terms of points or something like that, it's going to have to happen at some point if they can't happen. So, yeah, we'll just wait and see on that one, folks, and see what happens. But let's hope they don't have to roll out the caretaker as the 11th man when come the first game of the season or the groundsman, because that's what it's looking like at the minute, isn't it?
It is. David, what's your take on it all?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it, really? Much of what Tom said, it's not the people at the top who really actually care that much. It's the people on the ground level, the workers who are working to feed families, etc. The players, they're the only ones that are really affected, and the fans, of course. So it's sad to see. It happened to another football club. It happened with Bury, and it certainly looks like it's going to be following that same route at this moment in time. If the owners don't want to sell up, and they're, like Tom said, just taking every penny that they can and trying to make their losses seem a little bit better by drawing a little bit more money out and trying to take that little bit extra. And it's just not a nice way to do it, is it really? I think if they are going to postpone the fixtures, they need to do it as soon as possible and liaise with the National League, because that is going to cause a lot of trouble the closer we get to the season. Might give us an extra week to prepare, but the National League certainly aren't going to be happy about it. So for their benefit, if they can't get a side together, I would be getting the news out early and saying it early to the National League that this is a possibility that we can't play the game. And for the fans and people that travel, because you don't want to be calling it off with like a day or so to go, or even on the day, because they can't start the fixture. So no, I think it'd be beneficial, if they were to postpone the fixture, to get them done early and set out which ones they were going to postpone and try and sort this mess out, because I honestly keep looking at the statements every day and they seem the same as every other one that they've released. We've got a new buyer, he's coming in. Apparently he was called Johnny Cato. Apparently the only person called Johnny Cato is like a Swedish MP or something, unless he wants to buy Morham. So it's probably like a ChatGPT name or something like that. So he's just a liar. He's just a liar. And it needs to be sorted out quickly, because it's not going too well for them at the moment. It could go the same way as very, very, very fast. And I don't think they've got long left, to be honest with you, which is sad.
No.
But we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
I wonder how
it makes us play.
Sorry, I wonder how this is also affecting Boston's preparations as well. What are they thinking right now? Do you know what I mean? Because this is the last thing Graham Coughlin wants, isn't it? I'm sure they have them in the mindset, no, we're playing that day. You get your bet that we are playing the game on that day. You better be ready, because, because he won't have them any other way, would you? But, for them to, like David said, to then call it off in the late time or 11th hour would frustrate the hell out of him, because you know what he's like. He'll want to play this game. He'll want this game done and dusted. He's going to be ready. He's going to have our players fired up, ready for that day. Can we say the same for Morham at the minute? No, we can't, can we? So, yeah, it must be affecting Boston in some ways as well.
Of course it has. And it surprises me how the National League haven't seemed to have got involved too much at the moment. I mean, with everything that's going on, I mean, they keep, every day it's like you say, it's a new owner, and like you say, it's getting frustrating. Not just obviously Morecambe, the ones that are really suffering, but like you say, all the other teams, especially who they're going to be playing in the first few weeks of the season. No one seems to know. And like you say, we're 3 weeks away from the beginning of the new season. It's not that far to go now. There must be a deadline that they have to tell the league whether they're able to, and then obviously the league have got to make a decision on what happens. Is it going to be 3 relegated? You can't bring another team up from another league, not at this late stage of the season. Now they're not going to be prepared for the National League, are they? So it's all over. And I mean, like you say, Graham will want to play a game that weekend. If they don't, will they pull in another team, maybe a Premier League team, or just to help, an under-23 Premier League team, maybe just for that weekend? There's so many questions, isn't there, and no answers. So, David?
Yeah, it just seems the way it's going, isn't it? So many questions, so many answers. About you touched on the National League not intervening. I think that's quite funny because the National League are known to not stick their feet in. They kind of sit back and let things happen, and they're not very proactive in the way that they work the board and the National League board, especially in the past. I think they come under Mark Ives left as the chairman, so hopefully we see a change from that old mantra that they used to have, but of changing rules for Boston and letting everybody else do their own things. But no, it's just sad to see, and I hope they get it sorted as soon as possible, because like you said, it's bad for ourselves, it's bad for them, it's bad for everybody else, and it's probably too late to do anything about it. So we're just hung out to dry by some people that want to take as much money back from their losses as they've got, which is a shame. And I think this is also a good time to try and make a push for an independent football regulator in the UK. There's lots of talk about it now, obviously, of how this has happened. I believe he was chairman of the Morham chairman. Sorry, was chairman of Worcester Rugby or something like that in the past.
That's right. Yes, he was.
That went under as well. So how on this earth has he been able to take charge of another sports team that they know he's not got the financial capability to run? I don't know. So I think that's maybe something to be thought about.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And obviously we do wish the supporters, the staff and the players of Morecambe FC all the best, and just hope that we can see you down at the Jakeman's Community Stadium on the 9th of August. All fingers crossed for you there. So that is nearly it for today, but next edition we're going to do our predictions. Are you all prepared? Have you thought about it yet?
Mine might be changing a bit, but yeah, mine's nearly there.
Yeah, I've gone through mine, and I'm pretty happy with mine, actually. There's probably 1 or 2 that I'm not too sure about, but it's gonna be interesting and exciting. But yeah, we will be back to do that very soon indeed. So do keep a lookout on all platforms that we appear.
Any listeners? Well, get yours in as well. Get your predictors in.
Yes, of course. Yeah, please do. Let us know your predictions as well, and we can include you as well on just the full league table from number 1 to number 24. Where do you think teams are going to finish this season, including Boston? Should be an interesting one. Right, David Stedders, thank you very much as always. We will be back, as I say, very soon indeed with our predictions. So do keep an eye out. And find us on and subscribe on all social platforms, including Facebook, TikTok and X as well. And of course, YouTube. And we will speak to you soon and see you all soon on another edition of Up the Pilgrims.